Hello, well I'm going to show you my Engl 301 digital amp, which I bought in 1987-ish. First of all, I'll show you the inside of it. So, here it is. Let's see, I don't know if you can read any of that, but so we got the front panel here. There's gain, bass, the frequency in the middle work together. It's a parametric EQ. You got your lead boost, presence, treble, reverb, lead drive, preamp volume, and then the master volume, and then this memory thing here. This amp is interesting because it was the first amp to use digital sort of CPU types of things. I'm not an expert on it, but you can see all these chips in here, and it used this to store the settings in the tone controls. So the sound circuit is all analog, but the memory of what settings you have is defined and stored in memory. So I'm going to turn it on, and it has a little fan in it. This one has 6L6 tubes. Apparently there was an EL34 version of it. So, and then let me just show you this MRI thing. So when this is on, this allows you to see in memory. Well, I'm not going to get too much into this, but here's one of the memory channels. There's two banks, a red bank and a green bank, and I'm in channel 1 of green right now. And as I go across here and turn this, that was, this LED comes on, and that's where the bass was when I stored this memory. And the way you store it is just by holding this right button down for a couple of seconds, having selected the bank that you want to be in, and it stores it. There's a couple of batteries here, the rechargeable batteries, and so even when it's not plugged in, it's able to remember what you did. So this whole section here is the memory, and this is the power supply over here, and this is the power amp section over here, and there's tubes under, power tubes under there, and the preamp section here, and there's preamp tubes under here. Alright, so now I'm going to play it for you. This is what I'm going to play it through. This is 2x12 on top. This one has some Celestion Vintage 30s in it. And then below that is a Giza cabinet with 2 Alnico Blues in it, Celestions, English made. And so that's 16 ohms per cabinet running in parallel, so 8 ohms. And finally, I just wanted to show you a couple of details. This is the E2.4 version of the power amp board, and this is the EOS 2.1 version of the memory board, which I think is also the effects loop board, maybe. There is, going back to the preamp board here, there's that thing, that sort of white thing you see in the middle is, I think, the bias adjustment. And then if we go up here, where is it? These two. These affect the bandwidth, or maybe the Q, I'm not quite sure, of the parametric EQ for the mids. And you kind of work them together. One adjusts the bass sort of mid frequency, I think, and the other one adjusts the high frequency within the mids. So it kind of defines the range of the mids. And what I found best is kind of set the mids in the middle, so it's not cutting or boosting, get these things sounding right. And then when you go back over to the parametric EQ on the front, you know, you have a lot more flexibility and it sounds pretty good from scratch. And these are the settings that you just heard me playing. I'm cutting directly in the middle of the mids, actually cutting all the mids pretty much. I find anywhere between, you know, 6 and 15 sounds good. Bass, it really doesn't need very much. It's very bassy. You could get away with that, you know, no bass, but I had some on there. You know, gain, just so it doesn't distort too much. On the clean, has a reverb. Not very much treble, but I have found that having the lead boost and the presence on sounds best. Alright, happy landings. Bye. Alright, and so just so you can see, this is my SG, which is like a 2004. This is what I was just playing when you were watching the amp.